Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got some huge news about the Unrivaled Basketball League and their sudden shift in strategy. After initially downplaying Caitlyn Clark and her impact, Unrivaled is now desperately trying to sign her with an offer that could change the game for the league and Clark herself. Why this sudden change of heart? From being indifferent to practically begging for her to join, let's dive into how they went from dismissing Clark to pulling out all the stops to get her on board. You won't believe the lengths they're going to. But before further proceeding in video, please make sure to subscribe for more WNBA updates. We know it takes some of your time and we appreciate it.
I guarantee you, TNT is pressuring Unrivaled to sign Caitlyn Clark. TNT, I wouldn't be surprised if they offered her $10 million a year, because without Caitlyn Clark, the only place these ratings are going is...
Do you remember when Unrivaled dismissed Caitlyn Clark, claiming she wasn't as special as people thought? Well, their perspective has dramatically shifted. Now, they're practically pleading for her to join their league. What caused this sudden change? Let's take a closer look at how Unrivaled went from disregarding Clark to offering her a massive deal. The desperation behind this flip is hard to believe, and you'll be stunned by what they're willing to do to bring her on board. From the start of the WNBA season, Caitlyn Clark was often treated by the media, veterans, and other players as just another competitor, with many downplaying her accomplishments at every turn.
All season, we saw jealous women minimize the impact of Caitlyn Clark. They tried to claim that the entire WNBA was popular and mainstream. They constantly talked about this supposed rookie class that was revolutionizing the dump.
At first, it seemed like a typical scenario. Unrivaled even joined the chorus of critics. But now, the narrative has completely shifted, and they're taking a very different approach.
They were also liking negative comments about Caitlyn Clark from the official Unrivaled basketball Instagram account, like during the season. So all of these things were just not a good look. So to have the tides turn 180 at this very moment, right now, right when the TV deal was announced, maybe there is something to say about now they have this deal. They want to keep this deal. Now they're realizing we might need Caitlyn.
Initially, Unrivaled acted as if they didn't need Caitlyn Clark to make their league successful. They touted having 30 of the best players in women's basketball, but now they're scrambling to add 6 more to the roster.
But they have expanded from 30 to now 36 players, so that means that there are more spots open for possibly somebody like Caitlyn Clark to play.
Now, Unrivaled executives are quickly shifting gears, and it's as though they woke up one day and realized they might be in over their heads. The same people who once downplayed Clark's significance are now doing everything they can to convince her to join their league.
One of their main goals is to get her to play in the league, no matter what that costs, no matter what that is going to take. I wish that they would have come out publicly months ago and been like, hey, she is one of our biggest goals for this league. We want her there. We think that she would be great for the league. We want to welcome her fans to the league, but they didn't do any of that.
Why the dramatic turnaround? Unrivaled kicked off with a roster of players that, let's be honest, many of us had never heard of. While there's no disrespect meant toward them, when you're launching a new league, star power is essential, and Caitlyn Clark has that in spades. Now, Unrivaled is pulling out all the stops to get her on board, offering $1 million deal and even a stake in the league. It's as if they went from Clark, who, to Clark, please save us in record time.
Today, that Caitlyn Clark could receive a Lionel Messi-like offer to play in Unrivaled's startup 3-on-3 league, which is a full court press to sign her.
You might be wondering what sparked this sudden shift. It appears that Unrivaled faced a harsh reality check and realized that without a megastar like Clark, their league wouldn't stand a chance. It's like they were trying to build a championship team without any stars. Here's what the league's president had to say about it.
We're always going to have a roster spot for Caitlyn Clark. We are not applying a full court press the way people think. We are letting her decompress from basketball. She knows that we have a spot for her when she's ready.
But it's not just Unrivaled that's changed their tune. Remember when Breanna Stewart, a WNBA star, said that Caitlyn Clark needed a championship to solidify her legacy? Well, take a look now.
Does Caitlyn Clark need a championship to be considered one of the greats in women's college basketball history?
Yeah, she does. I think so. because then you're gonna look 10 years back and you're gonna see all the records she's broken and the points and stuff like that. But anybody knows, your goal when you play college basketball is to win a national championship.
Now, everyone is praising Clark. It's like they all woke up and realized that Caitlyn Clark is the real deal. Unrivaled has gone from critics to desperate recruiters in no time. They're facing the reality that without her, their league may lack the star power it needs to attract fans and compete with the WNBA. This complete 180 shows just how critical star power is in sports. But let's take a step back and examine why Unrivaled was created in the first place to compete with the WNBA. You might wonder how this is even possible, considering the WNBA's long-standing reputation. Well, Unrivaled has some serious financial backing, having struck a deal with TNT that gives them the resources to offer attractive salaries to players.
It was just announced recently that Unrivaled struck a television deal with TNT. Now, this exclusive media rights deal is reported to be 45 plus primetime games. TNT Sports are also invested in the league, and sources say that it's a 6-year deal that could be worth more than $100 million.
While the financial support seems strong, Unrivaled's foundation is far from solid. Their plans are based on some shaky ground, relying heavily on TV ratings and their partnership with TNT for funding, while ticket sales aren't a major factor.
According to the Miami Herald, Unrivaled is not focusing on ticket sales, which should be obvious, but instead of focusing on ticket sales, they're focusing on television ratings, which is where the vast majority of their funding is coming from, their deal with TNT. Unrivaled is going to be hosted in a 130,000 square foot facility, which is going to include a very, very small gym for the actual games. We're talking...
And it doesn't stop there. Unrivaled's season runs from January to March, right in the middle of the NFL playoffs and the NBA season. It's like trying to start a sandcastle competition during a tsunami. So, yes, their offer to Clark is enormous, but it's enormous because they're in a tough position.
The main reason I have doubts about the success of Unrivaled, they have yet to be able to sign the one player that would elevate the league. They have yet to sign the only star in women's basketball. Now, to their credit, it is not from lack of effort. Not only have they offered Caitlyn Clark ownership stake, they've also offered to make her the highest paid player in the league. According to Front Office Sports, Unrivaled has offered Caitlyn Clark over $1 million.
In a competitive landscape filled with major sports leagues, Unrivaled finds itself struggling to secure the star power it needs to succeed. The pressure from TNT, their major backer, is clear. Without Caitlyn Clark, the league may not survive. Their desperate attempts to bring her on board, including $1 million offers and equity in the league, are a stark reminder of just how vital star players are to the future of sports leagues. Can Unrivaled make this deal work, or will their big gamble on Clark be their undoing? Only time will tell. This was all for today. Thanks for watching.